Let's go. I'm Christopher Pitt, and welcome to the Pursuit to Own podcast. At Pursuit to Own, we are pursuing ownership at every level of life. Whether it's mindset, business, life, or real estate, our goal is to get you from renting to owning your future. See, I felt the pain of poverty growing up as a sharecropper in zip code 27843. I understand the struggle of living in a one-bedroom shack, owning nothing, not even running water. But I turned that pain into purpose by becoming a premier affordable housing community developer, providing 27,843 ownership opportunities in marginalized communities. Here's the truth. Ownership starts in your mind, regardless of your situation or location. Whether you are escaping the poverty trap, buying a home, or starting a business, the pursuit to own mindset is the key to unlocking your zip code and success. Join me to discuss new innovative ways to own real estate with tokenization, blockchain, crowdfunding, fractional ownership, and so much more. Let's go. Welcome to Pursuit to Own TV. Yeah, we back. And this is the place where we want you winning at every level of life. That's right. Why? Because you deserve it. And today we have an awesome one. I'm talking about the reason why I do this business, right? We're really going to get into why you should go from renting to owning. Like, that's what we're here for. That is what we're here for, because you got to remember, Pursuit to Own is an organization that provides real estate and financial opportunities in your community, right? It's a reason why people take the risk and the struggle to get into real estate. But let's talk about it. We got to start from the beginning, right? I know everybody always asks me, how do you start? How do you start? Well, we're going to get to that today. We're going to tell you about a lot of other things we got coming up. We're going to tell you about a absolutely cool announcement we're going to make, right? We got a lot of cool announcements that's going to have a lot of impact in your community. So you got to stay tuned with us and work with us. So as we walk over to the desk and get this show started, because this is going to be a really, really good one, guys. God. All right. We're here, we're back. So Pursuit to Own, what's on the agenda? So today, we're going to get right to it, guys. We're going to just snatch the Band-Aid off of the home buying process in 2025, right? Because things have changed. So we're not going to be the ones telling you things are going to be okay and things are status quo. No. That's not us. Like, we are here to get you into ownership, and the only way we can do that is put you in the best position, period, right? We're not here just to hold hands. We're here to help you stand, because this thing is for you. I can't want it more than you want it, right? So what is changing? What is changing? Not to get into politics, but as you can see, there's a lot of changes with funding sources, right? Funding sources that actually help people become homeowners. Funding sources that actually keep people in shelter, right? This stuff is serious business we're talking about, right? So we're going to dig into why it's so important. Why do anyone care enough about home ownership? Because the whole world is telling you you should rent. That's right. When you look at some of these communities they're building, what is the community? It is called Built to Rent. And now, let me tell you, they look great. They have got you out of these apartments. They're putting you in a home style place, but they dare to get you to rent. But what they're not telling you is they're robbing you of your wealth. That's the big problem with this. Right? So I hope I can get like we're going to have something shown in the background here, but I want you to understand the net worth of a person that rents and the net worth of a person that owns. We're talking about one home, just one. And I want to see if this strikes a nerve with you, because it should. They say, based on studies, not my studies, we're talking about other people that's where a job is to study this type of data. The data shows that a person that owns one home has a 40 times more net worth than a person that rents. So let me break it down in numbers to you, right? So based on where we're at, based on median income in America, right? We're saying that number is a person that owns a home, net worth is around 255,000. You want to know what the net worth is for a renter? Anybody? $6,000. Six. I mean, $6,000, guys. That's one trip. You take one family trip. That's your net worth. And that's what's happening, right? So you got to get serious about ownership. See, I run into a bunch of people that's, again, we talked last week about the hope lane, right? I run into a lot of people in the hope lane. But I got to tell you guys, you got to move quickly to get in the belief lane and then get into pursuit, because the market is changing. What got you here, what could got you a home 5 years ago, it's not the same, right? When you're sitting around and you're thinking that it was hard for you 5 years ago, let me tell you something. It's only going to get harder, right? Because every day that you sit and wait on this dream of yours, the gap gets bigger and bigger and bigger, right? And that is by design. That is by design. But what we cannot do, not at Pursuit to Own, what we're not going to do is just allow you to use that as a way of self-sabotage, right? We want you to pursue ownership. We don't want you to act surprised when you realize the market has changed. And look, here's the thing. I'm gonna need some of you guys to change your approach. If you want a home in 2025, listen to me right now. You may have to change your approach. Why? What does that mean? I'm happy you asked. I'm happy somebody asked that, right? Because what I see in the market, and I'm out here every single day fighting for you guys, fighting for you. Every single day, I talk to homeowners, potential homeowners every single day, and we all looking for the dream home. Understand, we are looking for the dream. Look, if you are working hard and you're making sacrifices and you're putting yourself in position, you should own the home that you think is of your dreams, if you can do that, right? If you can do that. But for a lot of people, that is not the case today. That is just not the case, right? Right now, a lot of people are having financial challenges, right? In the delta between what you're making and what you're losing just in the basic economy of inflation and everything else. You've been to the grocery store. You've seen the price of eggs, as they say. You're losing money every single month, right? You're losing money every single month. So when I talk to people, I can't give you this beautiful rainbow. I would love to, but you gotta be in position. So here's the first thing you gotta do when you're out here in today's market. If you're not looking, if you're looking for your dream home and it's not there, your next thing you need to do immediately, this is what we teach at Pursuit to Own. When you can't get the dream home, you have to switch to investment strategy, right? What does that mean? Like, if this can't be my dream home, you got to train your mind to think, I need to make this an investment for my family. Those are the two paths you got today, right? Dream home, investment home. Why do I say that? Because regardless of where you're at, regardless of your financial being, like, you have to live somewhere. So if you're renting and the rents I see on these streets are very high, it's very comparable for you to own, right? So when I say you can flip from your dream home, don't sit and wait 3, 4, 5 years hoping you'll be in position to get your dream home. What I'm saying is, if you have put the work in and you have the ability to buy real estate, right? Real estate, then you need to buy the real estate, right? Why? Because if you're waiting 3, 4 years, what have you done? You lost your opportunity of wealth creation. And this is what I'm trying to get everybody to understand, right? Okay, I didn't get my dream home, but now I am in a home that I can afford that is now producing, appreciation for us, and we're paying down the mortgage, and we're also getting tax deductible, right? You have a home. Now, the beautiful thing about it is now you can actually plan because you're in a home. It may not be your dream home, but you're in a home, right? You're in a home, and every day that house is making your net worth do what? Go up and up and up. Every time you pay, your net worth is going up, right? And that's how you got to think. Because remember, 40 times more net worth if you own one home, just one. So catch this. So now that, okay, I didn't get my dream home, but I took the opportunity to look at something that I viewed as an investment in a wealth creator for my family, generational wealth, people. My family, now you're in there, you're sitting there for 5 years. What happens? Well, if you're on a path of progress, that means a property that we will put you on is in a path of progress, meaning that you can see that there is other areas building up around it, right? And it's just a matter of time till it get to your area, right? That's the places you want to sit and wait. You want to be right on the outskirts of where all the action is happening, or you see all the building happening, right? Get to a place where you can afford, and it's just a matter of time before it gets to you. That is where the big win comes from appreciation, right? Because you're watching this every year, little by little, it's getting closer to you. But every time one block over, get a little closer, that means you're making more money. I'm saying all this because I'm still going to get you your dream home regardless, right? Here's what I mean by that. Because now that you have made 5 years of payment, now you have created wealth for yourself, what do you have? You have a bigger down payment now that you can afford to go get your dream home, right? You understand what I'm saying? When you go sell that home, you should have some level of equity in that home that you can use towards a down payment for you to be able to get a home of more value, but at a price you can afford because you're putting a bigger down payment down, right? This is what we're not, this is the opportunity for us, right? This is the opportunity. If you can't get your dream home, and I'm saying this because I know the market. It is hard out there for first-time home buyers. It is extremely, extremely hard, right? I don't want you to sit back and just wait and hope you can get into a home. It's not the time to do that. It's not the time to do that. So as you move forward and understanding that if I can't get the dream home, I am going to flip and I'm going to shift to an investment, and you're going to treat it that way, I promise you're in wealth creation. Because here's the thing. How can you ever start generational wealth if you have nothing to pass down? If you have nothing to give? You can rent in the greatest areas. They give you all the, amenities you want, but you can't give that to your kids unless they're renting there, right? So we gotta make decisions, and especially, again, I'm speaking from hardworking, first generational people, the missing middle, as they say, working poor, as they say, right? Though you are the people I am trying to get at Pursuit to Own, because you deserve the opportunity to create wealth. And what happens is we get so lost in all the distractions around us that you can't focus on it. And that is a great leeway into the next conversation we're about to have, the next topic. See, I'm going to give you the 3 C's to why you should be owning instead of renting, right? I'm gonna get you from, these 3 C's are going to get you from renting to owning, right? So follow me on this, right? Because you got to understand something. If you're first generational, you haven't done it. And it is going to be extremely important to whoever you model behind, whoever you get advice from, is going to be impactful to your journey, because you don't know. You don't know, right? So let's start off with the first one. The first C is clarity. Why is clarity so important? Why? Right? Clarity, when I think about clarity, maybe you guys have another thought. The first thing that pops to my mind is a diamond. Why? Right? Because diamonds, all diamonds are different, but what they talk about with a diamond is the clarity of that diamond. And the thing about the diamond that I appreciate is the process, right? The process of becoming a diamond, right? I don't know if you guys know that, but diamonds are created based on pressure over years and years and years, right? And that is how I see you. See, whatever living situation you're in right now, it's a level of pressure. If I'm talking to the person I think I'm talking to, I know the pressure that's around you, right? But here's the thing, that pressure around you, what it's going to do is it's going to keep you on a path to create clarity for yourself. Because sometimes in life, and you all been there, I've been there, right? You had a point in your life when things went wrong and it was only one path out. And you, right? Just say you somewhere and the fire breaks out and it's one door. Do you have clarity of what you should do next? Do you have clarity? The clarity is, I'm going to run to the one opening that's there because that is what I need to do to survive, right? That is clarity, right? So the other part you have to bring into clarity is you have to understand, why are you doing this? You gotta see, it's not who you doing it for. It's why are you doing it when you're in this thing? Because it's you that's gonna have to make the sacrifice. It's you that has to go through the struggle, right? You gotta have clarity. Now, for me, there's different whys, but for you, you gotta find out what's yours, right? Is it the fact that it's 40 times more net worth opportunity out there if I own a home? Is that enough why to make you go out there and get on the path of home ownership? If that enough, right? Or is it seriously generational wealth that you want to be able to model to your family, right? You want to be the person that started it for your family, right? Is that your why? What is it, right? Is it that you want to get in a situation where you can put yourself in a situation where that house can become an asset for you one day if the kids need to go to college, or if you need a line of credit on something, just another financial tool for you? Is that your why, right? Clarity. Because once you have clarity on it, you can create the path. Or better yet, you can have someone around you, like the great people at Pursuit to Own, that can create a really detailed path of where you need to go. Because now we understand why you're doing it, right? Again, desire is part of it. I can't want it more than you do. You have to want it. And the only way you can want something, you have to see it, and you have to see it every single day, right? Now, the next one is two. Now the second C is the game changer. And this is something we all lack during this process, right? Because we're struggling, right? The second C is courage. Come on. I know somebody hear me out there. You got to have courage to do this. If you're doing this for the first time, it doesn't matter if you sit me in a course and I'm listening to somebody talk about home buying for 6 weeks straight. Doesn't matter. If I don't have the courage to take that leap of faith on my own, it's not going to happen, right? So let me tell you what courage started for me. Now, I deal with homeowners on a daily basis, right? The first thing I ask for is two things right from the jump. I want a Pursuit to Own personal audit. What is that? I want this person to voluntarily tell me their barriers, what they think is holding them back. That does two things for me. That gives me a baseline of what they think about themselves. Number two, it identifies some of the barriers we have to go through, right? So again, it's the first step of courage, right? So what I think is, most people are afraid of public speaking, right? I think you can put a survey out and most people will say that is one of the scariest things ever, is to public speak, right? I'm gonna do one better than that. I think someone telling you who they really are is scarier. To sit there and tell somebody all of the things that are, flawed or wrong, or the troubles you went through life, is scarier. All right, that's just my opinion about it, right? So I start with that, and I want to see how many people have the courage to, this is, hands off, tell me, from your standpoint, what do you think you need to be able to get to home ownership, right? The next big one is, now once I get you from there, I get you from the personal audit, now here's when the fun happens, right? You got to have the courage to pull your credit, people. You have got to have the courage to pull your credit. I've been with people for weeks, and that is the thing that most people will not do until forced to, right? Because they know, they have issues. They just don't want to know how bad it is. Well, here's the thing. If you don't know how bad it is, you can't fix it. You can't measure, you can't manage, you can't do anything with it. You're just guessing, right? You gotta get a baseline, right? If I had anything, that step right there alone is the most pivotal thing. I don't care if you don't buy a house at all. Everyone should know their credit score, right? Because the problem with not knowing your credit score is meaning that you don't understand the power of credit. And that's another segment we'll do, right? The credit is the greatest leverage out there if you know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, right? Because you can take that ability to leverage assets to make you money if you know how to use it. But we're not there yet. We're just talking about you having the courage to pull your credit. Now, having the courage to do that, you're going to have to face reality. We talked about self-reflection, right? You have to do that. And I know that's a hard moment, but once you do it, let's get that Band-Aid off, right? Let's get that Band-Aid off. Now, we start. Now you got to start, right? And it's not going to be as bad as you think. It is many ways that we can help with credit, but the thing that you're going to have to do, and the thing that, you self-sabotage yourself, is the discipline it's going to take for you to do it. See, credit is not just getting something off of your report. Credit is habits, financial habits. You got to have great ones. What does that mean? Paying stuff on time. What does that mean? Paying stuff before the statement date so you get more benefit on your credit card, so it increase your credit score, right? These are all things you can do to increase your credit score, but the real courage come in when you have something that's challenging you, right? Do I go out tonight or do I pay this bill on time? Which one, right? These are the decisions that everyday people make, and I know it because I did it. I did it, right? That is when the courage comes in it. Are you willing to make the sacrifices during those times, right? Do you have the courage to say no to all these things that are going to be distracting you from getting you to where you want to be? That clarity, you know where you want to be at. You want to be a homeowner. You want to own real estate, right? Do you have the courage? Do you have the courage to block all of that away and instill like the habits you're going to need to own real estate? Are you willing to do that? That takes courage. The other thing you have that courage, and this is a sleeper for most people. If you're first generation, look, I won't gonna go there today, but it's pursuit on. We're gonna go there. Like when you're on this journey, let me just tell you, like when you're doing the same thing as others, people like you. People like you because you're the same. But the minute you start to chart on another path, things will change. So I just want to let you know that right now, right? People are okay with you when you're on their level. But when they start seeing that you may elevate, mama, there goes that man. I'm telling you, like it is going to happen for you. It happens to everyone when you're starting to elevate in life and do things different. You got to have the courage to be able to deal with that, right? You're going to hear things from people you never thought you would hear it from that should be a champion for you. But it's a mindset thing, because what they don't understand that you're not doing it to get you to where you got to go. It's not the transaction, guys. It is the transformation that we're taking on, and that is mindset, and that is your life in general, how you operate. You need principles for real estate. You need principles for success, right? Courage. Do you have the courage when everybody starts telling you why are you doing this? Why are you doing this? You don't need to do this. I found a place you can rent over here. Do you have the courage to keep there, right? The last one, and once you go through this, and this is, where we land with pursuit, right? The last C is you gotta commit. You have got to commit. See, once you commit to something, right, that means that you are going to endure and sacrifice whatever it is, whatever struggle you gotta go through, you're willing to do it because you know why you're doing it. And if you're in this mindset, you will understand that a struggle is just for a season till you get serious about succeeding, right? Once you get serious about succeeding, you're going to understand you're going to go through some things. Again, how do you handle it? Commitment. You're going to wake up every day thinking, because commitment is consistency over time. That means that, all these things will happen to you, like, will you stay consistent over time to get you to your goal? If you need to save this amount of money, can you do it? Right? It might be a month something happens. Stuff always happens. You might have to use some of that money you saved up. The question is, do you bounce back? Will you come back and make sure you're right back on track? Or do you say, I'm done, I'm out, this doesn't work for me? Right? That's not commitment. Commitment is you stay the course. It may take you a little longer, but you're committed to do it. You are committed to do it. And those three things are the most powerful things that you can do when you're trying to get yourself out of the mindset of renting and into the mindset of ownership. And I just want to get people to understand that. And I know, again, I will always talk about this because it's so important. I do not start with the sale of real estate. I start with our sales. Like, I need you to work on yourself first before we ever can get to the sale of a real estate property, right? People are doing it backwards. They're so focused on the house on Redfin, but they're not focused on themselves. This is why people fail. I'm here to rip the Band-Aid off because I know it's important. I know it's important to you. I know you hear me. I know you see me, right? And it's important because what you're going to do is I need you to get in an organization that you can surround yourself with so you're not by yourself, right? You can't suffer in silos. That's what we do, right? People are embarrassed about struggle. You need to get in a circle that people understand your struggle and know what you're trying to do in life, what you're trying to accomplish, right? And more importantly, don't be afraid to better your life. Like when you get into real estate, your life doesn't stop when you buy a home. And that's the biggest misconception out there. Like you can be in a home buying program for, 3 or 4 years getting coached up. And then you get a home and then everything stops. What happens? You think life stops? Life doesn't stop. That car tire still can go out. You got things that can happen in your life that can, cause you financial pain, right? Again, you have to learn principles. So that's why I don't get caught up so much on just trying to get the transaction of you buying something. I want you to make it. I want you to be a success story. Now, I know we're getting close, and this segment is fire, right? Because if you listen to what I'm saying and understand it, you will get from renting to own it. And as we stated at the last show we had, like, we want to do something different here with this show. Like, this show is just not about me, guys. Like, I've made it in real estate, right? I know the struggles of coming from nothing to having success in it, right? I know the path you're going down. I want to take you. I've been down that road. I want to take you. So my organization is here for you. I don't know how else to say it, right? I need you to understand, like, we are the people that are on the front lines fighting for first-time home ownership for you. We're being challenged in Washington, D.C., and just in the marketplace in general for first-time home buyers. You guys are getting beat out every day, right? Every day you're getting beat out. I see the American dream just die every single day from people that tried, did all the right things, but they just can't afford the home. And what happens? Spiral. 7 years of great habits goes out the window. Nah. We ain't doing that at Pursuit. No. See, we're putting ourselves in position so we can help people just like you, right? How are we doing that? Well, 2 things I want to make sure I bring. If you enjoyed this show, we want interaction. We want to build a community. Straight up. We want to build a community, right? And by doing that, if any part of this touches you, send it to somebody, or if you think somebody else may need it, right? Because what we're doing is, again, providing financial opportunity in your community. We're going to bring this back up again, right? Every week, we're going to find the person that is our biggest supporter on social media. We're going to track you down, and guess what? That person is going to get $100 for probably working for 10 minutes, but it means that much to me, right? I can go get some random person to do that and market it for them, but I'd rather get the money and the opportunity to you, because why? It's habit. I want you to understand that Pursuit. No, we're not afraid to make money. We're not afraid to share, right? We're not afraid to show you how to make money, right? Because that has to be a part of real estate. Real estate is not this thing that's stagnant, doesn't change. You have to understand all the areas of real estate and what you need to prepare yourself for home ownership, or if you're just trying to have a portfolio of properties, point blank, right? So we want to do that. And I just got to tease this, and we're going to do another big show on it because I'm going to probably bring in some people when we have this. But we are super excited that the solution that we're bringing to affordable housing and home ownership in general is tokenization of real estate. I know ain't a lot of people talking about it, especially not in affordable housing. Like, we want to be a leader in that. I created that because I got sick and tired of seeing you guys get beat out on the market. You have nobody fighting for you in the marketplace, right? I think about your problems more than you do, if you can believe that, right? Because I wake up every day trying to figure out a way to get someone from renting to ownership every single day of my life. Right? Now, this Pursuit to Own token, which you're going to start seeing all over the place, guys, that is when we go out and we'll have the ability to raise money based on whatever, just say we buying properties, whatever, in your neighborhood. This is the opportunity for you to own a little piece of your neighborhood, guys. Fractional ownership, right? This Pursuit to Own token should represent someone fighting for you. That's what it's about. Right? We're going to talk so much about it because it's new, it is innovative, and I think it's timely, right? Because when you have the power to create money and raise money, you have the power to make decisions. And that's the thing you need to understand, right? We need to come together as a community, right? And I'm telling you now, Pursuit to Own will continue to create homeowners, point blank. I need you in this community, right? So we're going to wrap things up. Here's the thing. You're going to have a lot of people giving you advice. You're going to see a lot of things that telling you what you should and should not do. None of that matters until you look inside the mirror and understand why are you doing it. If you need someone, or you need an organization that will have the patience and the empathy to sit down and get you to understand that, we here. Like, because we just don't sell real estate, guys. We serve it with a purpose, right? I can go buy and sell real estate all day long without ever talking to people. I don't want to, because I know you're getting robbed right in front of our face. Wealth is leaving your community today, and Pursuit to Own is here to stay. So, in the meantime, to the next time, stay in pursuit. Let's go. Thank you for listening to the Pursuit to Own podcast. If today's episode inspired you, don't stop here. Take the next step toward owning your future. Visit pursuittoown.com to sign up and join our growing community of wealth builders. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Pursuit to Own for updates, tips, and success stories. Together, we're turning dreams into assets. Until next time, stay in pursuit.